Consuming large amounts of protein does not guarantee that you're going to walk around with a bunch of lean muscle mass and reduced body fat on your body. It's always the big picture approach. We're going to talk about all of that in today's video. But first, I'm going to take a second to introduce myself. My name is Ann Parham. I am the creator of the online course, Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman. It is a course where I help you create a mindset about you making informed decisions for you based on how it is you want to live your life. And we really do debunk a lot of these food rules here in this community. So let's get into it. Are you a 50-plus-year-old woman who's maybe feeling a little bit frustrated about what to do with your nutrition, specifically your protein intake on a daily basis? Are you feeling like what is being recommended is just way too much for you? Are you afraid of losing muscle if you don't hit that target? So in general, the recommended daily allowance for protein is 1 gram of protein per pound of desired body weight. Now, I want to sit on that desired body weight concept for just a second. And I want to make sure as a woman, especially a woman who's 50 plus, most of us struggling with our body weight as we are going through this season of hormone change, is a realistic desired body weight. So not what you weighed when you were 20, not what you weighed when you were 30, not what you weighed before you had kids, but you showing up every day feeling really authentic in how it is you're making decisions, how it is you're showing up in your maybe fitness lifestyle, and how it is you're showing up with the people that you are spending time with. And the authentic part of that is going to help you really figure out what your own desired body weight is going to be. So it's from the present and how it is you want to be energized and show up for yourself. So when you get kind of a number in your head, we got to do a little bit of math, right? So we've got to figure out that we have 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I will throw my numbers out there just to make it simple for everyone. My desired body weight is about 150 pounds. I'm a 5'10", very athletic, very muscular woman. 150 pounds is me living pretty authentically, meaning I'm not being super deprived, I'm not over exercising, and my food is just falling naturally where I like it to be. So that's really where I want you to think about what that weight is for you when you are living that kind of lifestyle. Now, I have tried to hit the recommendations for daily intake of protein, and every time that I have done this, even when I was in my 20s and in my 30s, my body just doesn't respond well. I tend to hold on to inflammation. My digestive system doesn't like it. It tends to get a little backed up. I feel very lethargic. I feel heavy in my workouts. I'm just not showing up as my best self. So what do? One of the things that I really like to coach women on, and some permission I would like to give you today, is to just track your macros for a day or two and see where your protein intake is naturally falling. So I want you to not try to get your food perfect. I want you to just look at what you consumed in a day, pop it into something like a MyFitnessPal, or you can just add things up on a calculator. Just simply read ingredients labels or Google up like average protein grams for whatever it is you were consuming. Add it all up and see where it falls. And just take it as, gee whiz, that's interesting type of information and feedback. Then I want you to take the general recommendation that is offered to us. So for me, it would be 150 grams, and see how close you are to that recommendation. Now, if you're really far and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm only getting 20 grams of protein in a day, I never thought that my protein intake was that low. Or you're someone who's like, man, my protein intake is 180 grams. Maybe that's why I'm having trouble losing some weight. And see if you can find a happy place in the middle that's going to help you reach your goals. And what should our goals be with protein intake? Well, one of the reasons why we get this recommendation for protein intake in grams is because of muscle loss, right? Or what protein does in our body in preserving muscle, specifically the amino acids in protein. They are the building blocks for muscle. So does that mean if you're consuming your target grams of protein on a daily basis, your body is going to preserve muscle? Not necessarily. But we do want to make sure that we're not on the extreme side of low also, because we do want to make sure we're getting our amino acids. Something like protein intake is not the only thing that's going to help us preserve lean body mass, specifically our lean muscle. We want to make sure that we're staying active. We probably want to make sure that we're doing some sort of strength training or some sort of functional fitness type of training so that we can adapt to the lifestyle that we want to live. We want to make sure that we are also having a balanced nutritional lifestyle, making sure we're getting some healthy fats in us. We want to make sure that we're getting some good carbohydrates in us. And then we also want to make sure we just follow really common sense nutritional advice, staying away from processed foods, limiting our intake of alcohol. Like, it's a big picture approach, not just shooting for a macro count of our protein. It is the amino acids in protein that we're really looking after. So if you are someone like me who just can't consume large amounts of protein in a day, I also recommend looking into some supplementation that you can add into your daily routine that can help you with that amino acid intake, specifically our essential amino acids. It is a really good way to bridge the gap with your protein intake without having to consume more food. And then we have to just look at our overall life, like I said. Where does protein naturally fall for you? Is it one of those things that's making you feel super preoccupied mentally and emotionally about food and trying to get your food right? Does that protein requirement that you're trying to shoot for fit into your budget? Does it fit into your lifestyle? Does it fit into what it is you want to do in a kitchen and all the food prep that you have to do? I used to live that lifestyle where I would spend all day Sunday in the kitchen cooking chicken, cooking eggs, cooking ground turkey, cooking steaks, making sure that I had all my protein set up for the week, and it was exhausting. I just don't have the time and energy, nor do I want to allot the time and energy for that lifestyle anymore. And that might be where you are as well. So my recommendation is do a little gee whiz calculation of your daily protein intake. Where is it falling now? How close is that to the daily recommended guideline, or how far away from that daily recommended guideline are you naturally falling? And can you make some adjustments to suit what it is that you say that you want for yourself? Consuming large amounts of protein does not guarantee that you're going to walk around with a bunch of lean muscle mass and reduced body fat on your body. It's always the big picture approach. So make sure you keep an eye on the big picture. Are you eating a balanced nutritional lifestyle? Are you staying away from processed foods? Are you limiting your alcohol intake? Stress, sleep, all of those things are going to be a factor ultimately in how you show up in your skin and what your physique is going to look like, what your energy is going to be on any given day, and ultimately how it is you're showing up for yourself. So the message that I'm hoping you're taking from today is, girlfriend, you need to figure you out. Yes, these guidelines are a great starting place, but they don't have to be where you end up for you. Do a little gee whiz test, see where you end up, see if that feels natural for you. Are you getting the results that you want from this lifestyle that you're creating? And then where can you make some little tweaks? And then ultimately, what we are after here in this community specifically is an opportunity to just exhale and enjoy this amazing life that we have the opportunity to live, letting go of perfection and just showing up as our most authentic self. Ultimately, having the physique that we desire is really about being honest with ourselves and being consistent with this lifestyle that we're creating, making sure that we are really focused on making healthy decisions for the long haul, and then, like I said, staying consistent with that. If you're looking for some specific advice about maybe your protein intake, or you are looking for some easy protein hacks, just leave me a comment in the comment section below. I'll do my best to share what it is that I'm doing in my lifestyle. And if you're inside of my Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, always feel free to refer back to your Intermittent Feasting guide. Lots of tips in there as well.